Shitar approved.
Whoop whoop.
Nice.
This episode is Shitar approved.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Around the Water Cooler with NEDNR. It's me, Devin, Alexa, and today our guest, Tom Sherman.
Woo!
How are you today?
I'm fine.
That's it?
Just fine.
Just fine.
That's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine.
On a scale of good to bad, I'm fine.
That is acceptable.
That's more towards good, so.
Yeah. That's like...
Fine's better than okay.
So today we have an episode especially geared towards dam safety. So today we're going to be asking him some questions and kind of hearing him talk about what he does
Those
best.
damn engineers.
Those damn engineers. We want to know. What's up, Tom? Don't know. That's okay.
That's
fine.
kind of an open-ended
That's fine.
question.
That's fine. Basically, we're just going to do a little intro. So just give us a little bit about who you are, what you do for the department, and we'll go from there.
So yeah, my name is Tom Sherman. I've worked here since 2016, so about 6.5 years now. I'm a dam safety engineer, or if you prefer, a dam engineer.
That
Damn.
Damn.
So what we do is we inspect dams. Primarily, the engineers inspect the high hazard dams around the state. We review engineering plans for new dams and repairs to old ones. We do hazard class studies to determine whether they're low hazard or significant or high hazard. Breach inundation mapping, coordinate emergency action plans for the high hazard dams across the state. We do training, and basically it all revolves around public safety.
So I did, with the last metrics update for the governor's office, I saw that there was a difference between the inspections that you do for high, low, and significant hazard dams. Is there just because, are there certain inspections done specifically for high hazard dams? Like how does that happen?
Do you have to do more inspections if it's a high hazard? Or?
Yeah, the high hazard dams are inspected annually. Significant ones are inspected every 3 years, and low hazard dams every 5 years, and minimal hazard dams every 10 years.
Is a high hazard dam like in an urban place setting, or what makes something high hazard? Like it's like McConaughey, like the Kingsley Dam's
yeah.
high hazard because it's just enormous.
The way it's defined is if a dam were to fail and it is probable that it would kill somebody, it's a high hazard dam.
Damn. There was some questions that I got in my email about that. That's why I asked, because I myself was not entirely sure until I read your update, which is, it's interesting to...
I didn't know we had classifications on the different hazards. I mean, it makes sense, but I'd never thought about that.
And I didn't realize that there were different inspection not types, but
Criteria.
Criteria or how often those are done. I just assumed that all dams got inspected every single, but I mean, it makes sense to, focus on the ones that might kill people.
Focus on the ones that are most important, because there's a lot of dams.
Speaking of
I was
that,
just going to say, how many dams are in Nebraska?
There are nearly 3,000 jurisdictional dams across the state.
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Are the different dams made up with different materials, or is it any kind of dam that's...
Primarily, they're earthen embankment dams.
Yeah,
99.9% of them are.
Can you maybe describe, for people who don't, essentially know what a dam is or what its purpose is, maybe just break that down a little bit for us? See, there we go. It's complicated, it seems.
I'm having to think about this one. A dam is a structure that holds back the water in a valley, essentially.
And why would you want to hold back water? Are there different
Right.
types of...
To control flooding is a big reason.
Okay.
Erosion control is another one. To create a reservoir to have recreation on is
Nice.
another.
Dam.
Or
Yeah.
you can generate hydroelectric power, like at Kingsley Dam, for example.
So there's a lot of different reasons why you would want a dam.
You can
That's-
contain ag waste, animal waste.
Huh. I had
so
no
it doesn't
idea.
go flowing down the creek and
Yeah, I think when
pollute
people...
everything.
Yeah, I think when people think of dams, they're mostly like, oh, it's to prevent massive flooding. But sometimes there's a dam there and you're just not really sure what's going on with that.
Most
so.
of them are multiple purposes. Yeah, are recreation and flood control.
Yeah, whenever we go out for outreach activities and we tell people how many dams are in Nebraska, they're like, no way, I don't believe you. And I'm like, yeah, you can look up the shapefile and like the ArcGIS map we have on our website. It's just like everywhere except for in the sandhills, basically.
And I think a lot of people don't necessarily know what a dam looks like when they're just like sometimes you look at it and you would assume maybe it's a dam, but sometimes like maybe if it's a structure they're not familiar with, they're like, whatever, I don't know, it's just concrete holding back some water, it's fine.
Just some sticks or some
Yeah.
beavers there. So, how do we inspect dams? Like, let's say the high hazard classification. How do you inspect
Primarily,
that?
you get out of the truck and you walk.
Do you like
walk
jump
the
on
dam.
it, make sure it's stable?
Do you swim to make
They're
sure that it's
generally a
doing
little
its
too big
job?
for that. No, you walk the crest and the upstream and downstream slopes, and you look for things like rodent holes in trees and cracks in the ground.
Rodent holes.
The oversimplified
Damn
version.
squirrels.
The oversimplified version is you're looking for anything that isn't supposed to be there. You look for the condition of the various parts of the dam, whether it's the principal spillway, the auxiliary spillway.
So there could be little creatures living in the dams.
Chipmunks?
Love that. Alvin, where are you at, homie?
Time to evict Alvin. Yes.
So, okay, what about the drones?
Yeah, tell us about the drones.
Well, we have one. It's not nearly as exciting as it sounds. We use it to fly.
Don't undersell it. Drones are cool.
Super cool.
We have it in our lobby. People that don't even work here stand in our lobby and watch the drone footage that you guys get.
Well,
So
and
it is pretty cool.
That's what we do. We do that to get a kind of a baseline of this is what the dam looked like on this date. So 10 years from now, we find a problem, we can go back to the video and look at it and say, well, you know, that did or did not exist 10 years ago.
That 1,000-pack chipmunk family did not live there before.
Yes, exactly.
How often do you take the drones out to the different dams?
You know, I don't know the frequency for sure, how often we're...
All the time. Every day. There's a
we take
drone
it every-
over us right now.
Basically, we take it on every inspection trip, and if the wind will cooperate, we fly the dam usually.
Has there ever been an instance where the wind doesn't cooperate and something tragic happens?
We've crashed a couple of times, but not really wind related. One
Air.
time,
User error.
one time we were flying sideways, looking at the dam, but not looking ahead of the drone, and flew into a tree.
Oh no.
And I think there was one other time that the drone got crashed because we bought inexpensive propellers for it, and they came apart in midair.
Oh my
no.
gosh.
Did not stay in the air.
Heads up. Okay,
And
so
I don't generally fly the drone in part to keep my name out of the funny stories.
oh,
So
that's
Is
alright.
there certain people that are allowed to fly a drone? Do you have to have
you
a
do
certification?
you do have to have a similar to a pilot's license.
No way.
Yeah, it's, at least on paper, you don't have, obviously, you have to get the hours of flight time. But the test is very similar to a regular pilot's license, from what I understand.
Have you caught anything weird on your drone
The
footage?
family of 1,000-pack chipmunks.
Pretty much no, not that I'm
No,
aware
not
of.
yet.
We do, on dam inspections in general, we see wildlife all the time. Surprise deer, pheasants, raccoons, snakes.
Snakes?
Yeah.
Fun time.
You get that close, you can see
So
snakes?
far, every trip out
Snakes.
west, I've seen at least one rattlesnake.
In
and one time
Nebraska?
a green
Yeah,
racer.
there's rattlesnakes and I mean like
In the
western part.
sandhills?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Yeah.
sandhills.
Scottsbluff is where we see those usually.
I hate that.
Yeah, same with like cactuses.
Oh,
Yeah, remember? I feel like we talked about that.
cactus, not rattlesnakes.
If you have a cactus, you have a rattlesnake.
Not always. So, besides the drone footage, I hear you have a robot named Carl that inspects piping and stuff like that. Is that true? And what does he do?
I'm just thinking of
Okay,
like
well-
Walking Dead. Carl!
This is the first thing I've heard him Carl, but I think we can stick with that. So yeah, we put Carl
Should we
together.
rename him right now?
Let's get him a name tag.
Mid-podcast?
Uh,
Carl with a K?
Carl with a K.
Okay, we'll get him a
Okay.
name tag.
I'm gonna call him Carl.
Carl?
Carl on the pipe camera.
Here.
Okay.
Does he look like a Carl
Okay, so yeah, just tell us a little bit about
Carl.
the mysterious Carl.
/
Sure is
Wally?
Carl. Well, we show up to the dam with Carl, and we put him in the end of the pipe and drive him through and take a video of the inside of the conduit,
Good luck, Carl.
Good luck, Carl.
looking for more things that don't belong on a dam, like holes in the pipe. And
Dead animals.
yeah, dead animals aren't too big of a deal
Oh,
usually.
you hear that?
yeah.
Family of chipmunks? You better not.
Unless
we
you
won't
can't
care
get
about
around
you.
them.
Better watch out. Better watch out, Alvin.
That's right. We're gonna move you out.
Pipe bombs.
Evicted.
There was a pipe bomb in a conduit.
What?
one time.
No
Yeah.
way.
One of our engineers found a pipe bomb.
What do you
Do
just
you have to
call
like
the
call
police and then
911?
the bomb squad comes and
Step one is back up.
Don't
quickly.
panic.
touch it?
Yeah. Step two
Diffuse
is
it.
call 911, get the authorities out there to take care of the pipe bomb. So
Don't worry, guys. I've done this on a video game once. You just pull the
I
green
saw this
wire.
on CSI. I can do it.
Better take care of it now. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. Don't do that. If you
That's
find a bomb,
terrifying.
call the authorities. That is not for you to handle.
So when people first get hired, are you like, this is some weird stuff we've seen? Like if you run into any of this, like if you run into a pipe bomb, like don't panic, back up, call 911. Like do you have to like talk about those weird scenarios to like brief people on what could happen?
they're pretty infrequent that you have anything once, to my knowledge, for this entire department since we've been around.
I mean, that's
pipe
good though.
bomb.
It'd be weird if you found a pipe bomb
I
like
would be a
every
little
time you went out.
concerned. Every day,
Gosh dang it. Who's doing this?
Not again.
I mean, that's okay. It's good that you're not finding pipe bombs no matter where you go.
We do train on these things. We do confined space training if we have to actually crawl the conduit. Occasionally we get in there on our hands and knees and crawl through a conduit.
With the dead animals? I don't think I could do that.
Little
Typically
snakes.
without the dead animals because the dead animals can impact the air quality.
Oh,
So
you just get a
that's
stick
part
and
of
poke it
that's
out.
part of what you learn in the training. If you smell a
Some
dead
broom.
animal, don't
Just-
go in there.
Yikes. Well, that is.
You wear an oxygen and or you wear a gas meter that measures make sure you have enough oxygen to breathe and no poisonous gases.
So every time you go out, do you have to bring like the gas meter, oxygen tank, whatever, the drone, Carl? Like, do you just bring
We-
all this extra stuff just in
Everything
case
stays
you
in
never
the
know?
Truck. Yeah, pretty much. We leave all the equipment on the truck, and we got it if we need it.
It's better to be
Nice.
prepared.
We
Okay.
must have all been Boy Scouts at one time. Yes.
That does help.
Yeah.
Is there a patch for bombs?
Diffusing a pipe bomb?
That I'm not aware of.
Okay. So you do a lot of inspections. Is there a period of time that you do these inspections, and like when is it more common for
Oh, yeah,
certain types?
We like to inspect in spring and fall when the weather's a little cooler, but not freezing cold.
Yeah.
And it's not like 105 degrees
April.
like it was last week.
Chiseling
Beginning
away at it.
April through October, and then we typically take July and August off, but occasionally we go out and look at some dams even then,
Okay.
That'd be nice. So do you do it in the wintertime too? Like if you have to?
if we have to. Yeah,
That would be fun to kind of see.
it's kind of rare. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how often reservoirs or
and if you've got a foot of snow on the ground, it's hard to see cracks and
Oh, I
holes
guess
and
that's
things
true,
like
yeah.
that, unless you fall in them.
Yeah.
But if you were
So-
falling in a crack, that would just be like super
Yeah.
concerning.
That's a good indication that there's a problem. Yeah, if you fall in a hole.
Do we hire seasonal workers to help, those?
We used to, but a few years ago we stopped hiring seasonal workers. The field services do most of our low hazard dam inspections and a lot of the significant hazards, and then the engineering group does the high hazards and again some of the significant hazard ones.
So we're talking about all these inspections and like when we do them and whatnot, but you are dam safety. Do you have any dam safety tips for just the everyday citizen?
For one, if you're going to drive through the auxiliary spillway, don't drive in the same place every time. You don't want to kill the grass in the spillway. You don't want two tire tracks going up through that are bare dirt, because the grass does a really great job of preventing erosion. And
Keeps everything together.
when that spillway eventually flows, because they pretty much all will eventually, the water will find those tire tracks, and that's where it will erode, and that can
Makes
cause
sense.
that can definitely cause the dam to fail. In North Dakota earlier this year, there was a good example of that. The National Guard was flying in those great big 4x4x4 foot sandbags to drop in the erosion gully, and I looked on Google Earth, and Google Earth had even identified those tire tracks as a road.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
don't-
crazy.
That's a big no-no. Yeah.
That also sounds really expensive to like upkeep and maintain and do that if you're just.
Well, if you think maintenance shouldn't be that bad, you go out and cut a few trees now and again, evict some rodents.
Bye.
You can't live here anymore. Sorry, not
You're
sorry.
Another thing you don't want to do is don't modify your dam without having an engineer design the changes, basically.
And I would assume you need like some permitting and stuff as well.
there's
So
basically, if you're going to make major changes to a dam, you need to permitting process. You need to have a professional engineer design those changes to the dam. The average Joe just looks at a dam and sees a pile of dirt, but it's actually every piece of that dam has a specific purpose.
The purpose for storing the water and for safety. And
Yeah, the principal spillway lets out smaller rainfalls. The auxiliary spillway is there for a much larger rainfall.
and I think that's what a lot of people just aren't educated on. I think when people think of dams, they think of like concrete structures all the time, and
Oh, yeah.
it can just it's not necessarily that. It's, you know, these formations that you make out of the dirt and gravel and stone.
I've seen interviews where they were standing on the crest of a dam and they asked the person, "Are there any dams around here?" And they said, "Well, I don't
Just
think
look-
so.
look
No,
down."
no." And they're actually
Underneath you,
standing on the
maybe.
dam.
So
They kind of fly under the radar for most people.
I think they do. I mean, before I worked here, I had no idea that dams could just be those large formations of dirt that people put there.
is there a certain amount of water that you have to uphold or block before you can permit a dam? Like if anybody wanted to make a small little dam on like their creek or stream in their backyard for funsies, can they do that? Or if it's like a certain amount of water, then they have to go through the process of applying to make
Yeah,
one?
what I think you're getting at is what defines a jurisdictional dam. And a jurisdictional dam is anything that holds back more than 50 acre feet when the water's at the crest of the dam, or is more than 25 feet in height
Oh,
from,
okay.
from the stream bed to the crest of the dam. And under that, you may have to have a water storage permit over, I believe it's 15 acre feet. But yeah, so if you're very small, then no, we don't.
Everybody start throwing giant piles of dirt.
Since
Create
this
your
is
own
being
dam.
recorded, I'm not
Just
going to say
kidding.
we don't care.
Did you have any other dam safety tips?
Don't build your house in the auxiliary spillway.
That would make
It's a nice
sense.
That would
flat
be smart.
spot right near
I mean,
the
not
water.
smart.
Build your house
Again,
there after you
comes
just.
to knowing what the different parts of the dam are, rather not knowing what the purpose of this is. We've seen examples where somebody thought this nice flat spot was a great place to build a house, and well, your basement's going to be full of water the next time we get a rain over maybe
Yikes.
4 inches or something like that. Might wash on down the hill.
Bye, house.
Bye, unless you get like stilts or something like that. I think there's a way to prevent your house from flying away if it floods, but I'm not really sure. But
Yeah,
that's
you-
necessary in Nebraska.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Rapidly.
Nebraska floods a lot.
places with rapidly flowing water, just don't
No.
build your house there.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
like along rivers and stuff when people have
Yeah.
cabins. There was a really bad flood, kind of, I forget where, like near Blair, something like that. I forget what river it's on, but yeah, my grandparents' cabin got totally wiped out. Now they're rebuilding everything with stilts, so
Yeah.
it's kind of fun.
I guess another good
Yeah.
tip is just stay away from spillways in general.
Yeah.
Flowing water can entrap a person.
Yes.
Or get a
Generally
boat.
not a pleasant outcome.
Or just like build your house on a boat.
Yeah,
Just get
ooh,
like a pontoon boat, but have it be your house.
there you go. It's your raft and your home. It's awesome.
Or a hot air balloon just pulling up.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you're built on top of a boat, then you're always ready for floods. Don't do that. This is not solid advice. I'm just kidding.
Maybe we should like put a disclaimer of like these are not real. Like
Don't listen to Devin and Alexa because they say things that don't make sense.
these views do not reflect DNR. Please do not.
Our
do
name's
that.
on it, but it's not a representation of the agency.
Please
So, yes. Anything else?
Yeah. What is a low head dam?
Okay, so low-head dams are structures that typically go bank to bank across the stream of the river, and the water flows across the crest of the dam. And they're typically concrete, but they might be steel sheet piles or something like that. They're often put in there to divert water from the river down to an irrigation canal, or might be a erosion control, grade control structure. Basically, you might see these right downstream of a bridge, and they're there to prevent the river from washing out the bridge piers.
Oh, okay.
Different.
I think I have seen those. I just never knew what they were
Yeah.
called.
But they have not been a big deal in the past because people up till maybe 10 years ago weren't kayaking and canoeing small streams, but that's becoming more and more popular. And these things under the right conditions can be very dangerous and can entrap people, and they often get called drowning machines.
If you are going to be doing some kayaking or
Be aware of your surroundings.
if you-
Definitely
if you
map out
see
your
anything,
route.
They're also difficult to see, especially from the upstream side, because the water's going up to the edge and then it just disappears, and you have to be pretty close to them before you realize you're there.
yeah, so
Um,
it's definitely good if you're going to be doing any of these fun sporting activities on any of our bodies of water.
To check them out first.
Yeah, definitely know where you're going because you don't want to be caught up somewhere you don't want to be.
Every summer, a few people, I think there were at least 2 people last summer, maybe 4, that were killed on Lowhead dams just in Nebraska.
That's really
Great
sad.
places to fish and things like that, but like I said, under the right conditions,
They're
they
dangerous.
create what's called a reverse roller, and you get pulled underwater, and then you come up downstream a few feet away from the dam, and the roller will push you back towards the dam, where the rapid water pulls you back under again, and it goes around and around and around until you're too tired to swim.
It sounds like my worst nightmare.
It's unpleasant.
I can't imagine
At
that would be
best.
fun.
No. Mm-mm.
So definitely don't put yourself in that situation. Make sure that you're aware of your surroundings and
Yeah.
check.
And if you see one of these, stay away from them.
Worst case scenario, Google map it and you'll be able to see these structures most of the time.
That's true if you use the satellite
Yeah.
imagery.
Yeah, definitely just check it out. So, something interesting about Tom is that you are a thespian. You do a lot of theater and stuff like that.
A fair amount of theater, yeah.
Yeah, and you also create instruments for fun. And one
Yes.
of those instruments is called a sitar, and it is glorious. I saw a picture of it, and I'm really excited. I was wondering, could you play us a little tune?
I used to keep a Baby Ruth candy bar in here, but somebody ate it.
That would be so funny.
That's a good one.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
You want me to sing for you?
Give us a little tune.
I'm not that talented.
Headed down south to the land of the pines, thumbing down way in North Carolina. Stand up the road, look out, I see headlights.
Darius Rucker. I love that. Wow.
That was awesome.
That
Thank
was
you.
awesome. I love Darius Rucker, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
OS.
And then you could play that instead.
Speaking of rivers,
That would be
so
cool.
Well, thank you for that. Is so cool. I had no idea that. To be fair,
is-
I was like, I don't know how a bedpan guitar would sound, but it sounds great.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I mean,
I tell people they're not as crappy as you think.
they're really not. I was excited.
Isn't that
Oh, so
awful?
That was great. So do you perform
On occasion,
somewhere
yeah.
with your bedpan guitar?
I also play mandolin and a regular guitar. And
Do people, when you pull this out, do people realize that that is a bedpan, or do they just think it's like a new twist on like the body of a guitar? Like, do they know?
You can see their facial expression change when they realize what it is. Especially retired nurses.
Like,
Yes.
You're welcome. I mean, when you do dam inspections, do you just sit in the back of the truck and you do?
Typically, I leave this at home.
Dang it.
Damn
Overnight,
it.
overnight. Overnight trips, I might take it along. So I got some. I don't like
To
to
do.
watch TV in a hotel, so
Yeah.
I take along an instrument.
I have a question. We didn't talk about this, but if you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know. One food?
Yeah,
Only
one
food,
choice.
Or
Like one maybe
Meal.
Yeah, one meal for the rest of your
Oh.
life, or one type of food.
Food.
oh,
Yeah.
better pick something healthier. Might not be all that long.
You're just like Twinkies.
Yeah, Twinkies. No.
Pizzas are well-rounded.
Pizza's a well-rounded food.
Yeah, we had
probably, yeah.
Jim say potatoes because you could do
Oh, yes.
like
So many different types of potatoes.
true.
yeah, but you can't,
you can't say potatoes,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's off the list.
Yes,
All,
I
any
did
food
hear
except
that,
for
yeah.
potatoes.
Yeah, for lack of anything better, I guess pizza.
Oh, pizza would be good. You could have breakfast pizza,
You could
taco
have-
pizza.
And if you need your veggies, you just do like a vegetarian pizza.
Yeah, like a pesto pizza.
Fruit dessert pizza, yeah.
I love fruit dessert pizzas.
Pizza is the supreme food. I don't care what anybody says. If I had to eat one food for the rest of my life, it would definitely be pizza.
And you could put potatoes on pizza.
You can. A breakfast pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey's does it. It's pretty
Pizza, I
good.
guess.
Oh, dip it in like salsa.
Could have broccoli and blue cheese on my pizza.
Yes.
Buffalo chicken or Thai or
Yes. Barbecue chicken. So you get some barbecue, some chicken, some red onion, some cheese. That is so good. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, no, that is a good answer. Thank you so
Good.
much.
yeah, then my top potatoes.
Yeah, I'm so glad I passed.
Yeah, we were gonna be mad if you chose something.
We
lame.
approve. We will accept pizza as an answer.
It's like water.
Yeah.
No. Not accepted. Thank you so much for coming on our podcast
Yes,
and
thank
telling
you.
us a little bit about yourself and like what you do for the department. Definitely would be a different place if we didn't have our damn safety people. So
Yeah, and if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to you or anybody in the department. We will forward their questions to you.
yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, I think break time's over.
Break time's over.